Good afternoon, everyone. So yes, I spoke earlier, but for those of you that weren't here, my name is Samantha Nakirya. I have to say it like that because there's some Ugandans in the room and I don't want to disappoint them. I'm originally from Uganda, but I've grown up in London. I moved there when I was 5 and I currently do ESG. So, for taking your business around the world, I wanted to share a bit around how ESG is a really great way for you to differentiate yourself from some of your competitors. It has been mentioned a few times today, but I'm hoping you all kind of know what it is. But just a little synopsis, it's that your business is looking at your environmental impact, your social impact, and your governance. So part of that is, a lot of it is linked to corporate social responsibility, but it's going a step further. So I'm hoping through the next 10 minutes as I share what I've done and also how it operates in London, that maybe you can have a bit of insight into how you can incorporate that into your business, because it's only going to make you more competitive, but also differentiate you from some of your competitors. So just a little history, because I'm an historian by trade. In 2012 is when the UK government made it into law. So 2012, they created the Social Value Act, which basically made businesses that want to operate in London or the UK to have to deliver some sort of ESG strategy. There was already some sustainability laws that are there, but this mandated businesses to actually deliver some sort of social value or as part of their profits. And the Social Value Act of 2012 basically states that you have to deliver at least 12.5% of your profits towards some ESG strategy. So the reason why 2012 is really important is that was also when London was hosting the London Olympics. And they were building, they were basically completed, but they were building the Stratford Centre, which is one of the biggest real estate areas in London. Now the issue what happened was in Stratford, this place in London, it was really known for high crime. It's quite close to the city, good transport links. Before you could even go to the Eurostar from Stratford, right now it's only at St. Pancras. But the reason why I mention it is to say that for the redevelopment of Stratford, it was going to cost £12.5 billion. I speak pounds, unfortunately. And when the Social Value Act happened, it basically mandated that 12.5% of that goes towards social value and their ESG strategy. But what that meant for those investors is that they had to think quite creatively around how they were going to deliver against this act. And now it's now a mandate for all businesses. It's now just been introduced into EU with the CSRD. So how does this affect you as a business or as a person that's wanting to work or live in London? What that means is you have to have some sort of considerations towards ESG. And that can be from anything towards your environmental impact, whether you are carbon literate, how much water usage, do you leave the lights on when you leave the office? That is a really big problem in London. You go in the evenings, the shopping centres close, but all the lights are on. And that has actually an effect because there's light pollution and all those sort of things. So it's all to say that as a business or as a small business, you're already probably doing some sort of ESG, but are you communicating that? And actually it's part of the law. What it also means is that there is going to be a growing interest in how do we do that within Africa. There's already some conversations and businesses that do it across South Africa and in Kenya, and a lot of the corporations are starting to build that. So that shows an opportunity for actually you as an entrepreneur or you as a small business to really market yourself using some of these things that you're already doing. Whether you are including hiring doing locally? Are you building something in Diani and using local workers? Are you capturing how much electricity you're using to make sure that you are not being wasteful? Are you thinking about your modern slavery report and everyone in your business understands what that means? These are all ways in which ESG makes your business look more efficient and tackle some of the issues that are happening wherever you're working. And again, as we've mentioned previously today, we cannot just bring a UK system and put it into Kenya or whatever country you're working in. It's thinking about how do you localize it. A lot of the people in the panelists have already shared around the waste management issue. There's obviously a high population of young people that are eager to work. How are you addressing some of those social issues, and then also using your businesses to tackle them? Because with ESG, a lot of times businesses see it as an afterthought. The bottom line is profits and dollars and pounds, but ESG is basically getting more value for your money. If you are choosing to think about how do you support women in your business, how do you encourage young people, do you offer upskilling, are you working to improve the works of your workers and also the communities that you're working in? So ESG is going to become a bigger thing. So it's great for you right now, if you're a small business, to think about how do you incorporate that. You can, obviously, there's so many different specialists and people with different backgrounds, but you need to be using these terms to make sure you're differentiating yourself. So I know there was a safari group that were here from Uganda. I was speaking to them earlier, but there are ways in which even you as a safari company can incorporate ESG. So it's not just to think this is just something that Safaricom or PwC, those are the things that they're doing. It will become a thing of a normality in the next decades or so. And in London now, it's only been 12 years. EU has now put it into law, and America again has the same things. So if you're thinking about taking your business abroad, it's all great to have a really great business plan and very low costs, but are you ensuring that you are using your ESG programs and projects to really establish yourself and show what's different? I will add that some of the challenges as well is that for what might work for one company might not work for another, but having the basis stuff around having even the simple things like a strategy on your website is something that gives you an automatic tick. So making sure you thought about that and being able to explain that in a way that foreign investors or foreign businesses can use that. My background, I've worked directly with property developers, so I've done a lot of the regeneration that's happened across London. And with that, it was using ESG to tackle some of the problems that they have. So in London, we have developments that happen near enough every day. It's always growing. There's more houses, more schools, more hospitals that need to be built with the growing population there. And for construction workers or people working in development, there is more work available than there are people to do these jobs. So using ESG around hiring people that are local, upskilling local workers or people who are unemployed, looking at how do you get young people to feel that they want to go into being electricians rather than TikTok stars. These are all the different things and ways in which you can use ESG to really differentiate yourself and make sure that you are addressing some of the issues that are happening local. So I'll leave it there because I think we have mentioned it, and obviously I'll stick around if you do have any specific questions afterwards. But ESG is not an afterthought. It's something that has to be part of your plan. It needs to be something that you thought about, and it also needs to be something that's localized. You cannot just expect to do the same thing in different areas and hope to have a different answer. So yes, ESG is a really big thing, and if you are a small business, I would definitely encourage you to think about how are you doing that, how are you reporting on it, and how are you differentiating yourself from your competitors. Thank you.